Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Deving Sarasating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 3, Dev's Appearance, Text 19. Iti niśāmayantyā niśāmayantyā merudevyāḥ patim abhidhāyāntardadhe bhagavān śrī-śuka uvāca iti niśāmayantyā iti niśāmayantyā merudevyāḥ patim abhidhāyāntardadhe abhidhāyāntardadhe bhagavān. Okay, say it. It's in a prose form, so we're not reciting them together. Śrī Śuka uvāca. Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, Iti, thus, niśāmayantyā, who was listening, Merudevyāḥ, in the presence of Merudevī, patim, unto husband, abhidhāya, having spoken, antardadhe, disappeared, bhagavān, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Sukadeva Goswami continued, after saying this, the Lord disappeared. The wife of King Nābhi, Queen Merudevī, was sitting by the side of her husband, and consequently she could hear everything the Supreme Lord has spoken. Please repeat after me. Sukadeva Goswami continued, after saying this, the Lord disappeared. The wife of King Nābhi, Queen Merudevī, was sitting by the side of her husband, and consequently, she could hear everything the Supreme Lord had spoken. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to the Vedic injunction, one should perform sacrifices in the company of one's own wife. Sapatniko dharmam acharet. Religious rituals should be performed with one's wife. Therefore, Maharaja Nābhi conducted his great sacrifice with his wife by his side. So, this chapter is describing Lord Rishabhadev's appearance. So Rishabhadev is the son, or Rishabdev, was the son of King Nābhi and Queen Merudevī. And when King Nābhi wanted to have a son, he performed a sacrifice. And in that sacrifice, the Lord himself appeared. The Lord himself appeared in the sacrifice. And the priests then asked the Lord to bestow a son to King Nābhi as qualified as he himself. So the Lord said, well, it's very difficult to find somebody as qualified as I am. Anyway, so I myself will come and become their son. So this is how the Lord blessed King Nābhi and Merudevī, bestowing them the mercy of appearing as their son. And that son is Rishabdev. The Lord has two types of incarnations. Actually, the Lord has 6 types of incarnations. Who remembers those 6 kind of incarnations? Okay, you tell me one. Gunavatar, meaning? Okay, the Lord as incarnates to take care of the 3 modes of material nature. Who are they? Okay, what does Brahma do?
Controller, mode of passion.
And Vishnu?
Mode of goodness.
And Shiva? Mode of ignorance. Who are those Purushavatars? Okay, very good. Like?
In Satyayug Hamsa Avatar.
What is the meaning of Manvantar avatar?
Each Manvantar they came.
Yeah, right. The Lord comes in each Manu's reign. Who is the Manvantar avatar in this reign? Okay, Vamandev. You see, when each Manu comes, then the whole shift changes. Indra, Chandra, Varun, Surya, Agni, sages. They come with a whole set. And also the Lord also comes as the incarnation. So that incarnation of the Lord is called Manvantar Avatar. For example, Indra, who is the Indra in this Manvantar? Purandar. Who will be the next Indra? Bali Maharaj. Very good. Similarly, Surya in this Manvantar is Vivashvan. In next Manvantar, someone else will be there. I forgot his name. Okay. Very good, Yuga Avatar. So, what do the Yuga Avatars mean?
Every Yuga Lord appears in different colors. In Satyuga, white color. In Treta Yuga, red color. In Kali Yuga, yellow color. And in Dwapar Yuga, blackish.
Dark, yeah. So they are the Yuga Avatars. The color is there, but what do? Did I ask you? So, they establish Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? In Satya Yuga, Yuga Dharma of Satya Yuga is meditation. Who establishes that? Hansavatar. What is the Yuga Dharma in Treta Yuga? Fire sacrifice. Who establishes that? Yajna. And in Dwapar Yuga, Archan, Krishna, and Kali Yuga, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sankirtan. So Yuga Avatar, how many did we get so far? So what are the other two? Shaktavesh avatar. So what is Shaktavesh avatar? You want to say?
Powered by Lord.
Very good. Right. Yeah. Some living entities become empowered by the Lord. So that is called Shakti Avesh. Avesh means becoming empowered, becoming induced by the Shakti, the potency of the Lord. The Lord invests the potency for them to do something. Like as you mentioned, Prithu Maharaj. Another one is Parashuram. Another one is Rishabdev. Rishabdev is an empowered incarnation or Shaktavesh avatar. And who is the sixth one? Leela avatar. Leela means pastimes, and the Lord comes to perform various pastimes to establish the principle of dharma. Like Ram, Chandra, Varahadev, Nishingadev, Ram, Varaha, Nishinga, Kurma, they are performing their pastimes to perform their purpose of Lord's coming, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya cha Dushkritam. Actually, all the pastimes of the Lord are fulfilling that purpose, to protect the sadhus or give delight, give pleasure to the devotees and annihilate the demons. So, Rishabdev came as a Shaktavesh avatar. And he is establishing the principle of renunciation also. Like he is teaching how to become completely detached, completely free from all attachments. He was a king. He was a king of the entire earth planet. And he had 100 sons. But he left his kingdom. He gave his kingdom to his eldest son. In the Vedic culture, the eldest son inherits the father's property. So, and the other brothers help him. So similarly, Bharat became the king. And his other 9 brothers became sadhus, yogis, Navajogendra, Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, etc. And then the other, how many are left then? 81. No, 90. 81 became the followers, followed the Kshatriya Dharma. And what did the 9 do? I think 9 became Brahmanas, yeah. 9 accepted the role of Brahmanas. So this is how, and different sons assume different social responsibilities. And King Bharat was ruling the entire earth planet. Shashagara, the ruler of the entire earth planet, including the oceans. So then Rishabdev gave his sons very nice advice. Very nice advice, like how to make one's life successful. And then he left. And when he left, he just left everything. And this purpose of leaving home was actually to become absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. So actually the virakti, the detachment, the real detachment comes due to attachment to the Lord's lotus feet. Otherwise it cannot be real, it's artificial. Some people may give up, but give up everything and take up a life of renunciation. But unless and until one develops the attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord, that renunciation won't be real. Meaning they'll do it for the time being, but they'll fall down. Now the consideration is, why does that? Why is that? Why only by developing one's attachment to the Lord one can cultivate real detachment? The answer to that is, living entity always wants to enjoy. He wants to enjoy. Ananda or enjoyment is a part of a living entity's natural characteristic. So unless and until that enjoyment is there, if it's not there, he'll look for that enjoyment somewhere. And so, when one gets, like for example, the material nature provides certain enjoyment. Material nature is giving us some enjoyment. What kind of enjoyment? Sense gratification. Material nature provides us the enjoyment of sense gratification. By gratifying our senses, we derive joy. So unless and until some other form of enjoyment is there, we won't be able to give up our material attachments or the tendency to enjoy in the material nature. On the other hand, when one develops his attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the joy of that loving exchange is so great that getting that joy, one does not have any more interest for sense gratification or material attachments. That's how it happens. Parang drishta nivartanti. By getting the higher taste, one gives up the lower taste. Otherwise, if one wants to give up the lower, that taste that he is getting in the material nature, if he doesn't have a higher taste, or if he doesn't have some other taste to replace that enjoyment, he will come back. And that's why arujya krichena parang padang tata patanti adha. Although by performing austerities and penances they are elevated to a great height, parang padam, they go all the way up to the Brahma Jyoti. Practically they go to the spiritual sky, but fall down. Why? No enjoyment. So they come back searching for some enjoyment here. That is why devotional service is the real source of detachment. Bhakti has two aspects along with her, jnana and vairagya. Wherever there is bhakti, there will be jnana, knowledge, and there will be renunciation or detachment. In that respect, it has been said that Bhakti Devi has two sons. Those two sons are jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. So that's why wherever the mother goes, the sons follow. So wherever bhakti is there, jnana, vairagya is automatically there. So that is what Rishabhdev actually was demonstrating. Now, if it doesn't happen that way, then what happens? If the devotion or loving attachment to the Lord is not there, then what will happen? We have another very wonderful example through Rishabhdev himself. Rishabhdev was traveling through the province of Konka and Benka. The king of that place, King Arhat, he saw that thousands of people are following this person who doesn't have any external consciousness practically. He doesn't even know, he doesn't even care whether he's wearing anything or not. No body consciousness at all. Completely so absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna that he does not have any external consciousness. He doesn't have any awareness whether he ate anything. He doesn't have any awareness whether he is wearing any clothes. He doesn't have any awareness whether he took bath. No awareness of the body. And so King Arhat thought that I am a king and still I am not so popular as this person. I am a king, but people don't really care for me. Whereas this person doesn't have anything and thousands of people are following him. So he started to imitate the activities of Rishabhdev. And thinking that this is how he'll become also very famous. And the result was Jainism. Jainism actually started from King Arhat. And they call him Arihant. And they also claim that Rishabhdev is the original. But the thing is that they're missing out on Rishabhdev's teachings. If Rishabhdev is their original founder, then they should follow Rishabhdev's teachings. And what is Rishabhdev's teachings? Sarva dharman parityajya Krishnam ekam saranam braja. So that they are not following. They are just caught up with these external things, moving around naked, not apparently having anything to do with the body. But it's for how long? For how long? So anyway, the point to note here is that unless and until the real substance is there, following the external activities is not going to take us anywhere. Okay, so that is the purpose of Rishabhdev's appearance. An illustrious personality who demonstrated the perfect renunciation. And now here in this verse, it is demonstrated, it is mentioned, the Lord appeared, and when the priests asked him to bestow his benediction upon this couple, the King Nābhi and Merudevī, because they are performing this sacrifice for the sake of getting an appropriate child. So please bless them that they can get a child like you. And the Lord Narayan considered that how can anyone be equal to me? And it's very difficult to find some soul who would be just like me. So he decided to come himself to fulfill the request of the priests. Please let them get a child like you. Okay, so I will come and become their child. So this is how Lord Rishabhdev, the Lord came as Lord Rishabhdev, the son of Nābhi and Merudevī. Now, here the description is that when the yajna was being performed, the queen was sitting next to the king. And it has been pointed out by Prabhupada that in Vedic culture, the auspicious activities in the household order are conducted jointly by husband and wife together. That is Vedic culture. The Vedic culture teaches how husband and wife together are one unit. They are one unit. Ardhangini. The man's half is the wife. So through marriage, they become one unit. Husband and wife become one unit through marriage. Otherwise, husband is one half, wife is one half. So when they get together, they become whole. They become a complete unit. And all the activities they perform together. So we can see how scientific and how wonderful the Vedic culture is. It gives a perfect system. Now, when people act and when people grow up with this understanding, what will happen? The householders here can testify that. What happens when husband and wife become one unit? The atmosphere at home becomes very wonderful, right? And the children, they grow up in a very loving atmosphere. So Vedic culture is teaching people, and this is how a perfect family life is established. But when people don't have this kind of understanding, then what happens? We are seeing that. Then it is just husband-wife relationship is simply based on sense gratification. And then when that sense gratification is hampered, they separate. In the West, if a marriage lasts for more than 3 years, they say it's a very nice marriage. And married life for 25 years, unheard of. They make a big celebration, Silver Jubilee. And it is because they don't have any understanding. That is why it is so important that the Vedic culture is established throughout the world to create a perfect human society. A man and woman don't get together just for sense gratification, just for exploiting each other. No. The purpose of marriage is sacred. That is to perform dharma, religious activities, spiritual activities. And we are seeing that even to get children, which is the main purpose of getting married, such elaborate arrangement, sacrifice, and the purpose of not just get a child just by accidental happening. No. Proper preparation. And through that preparation, when they get children, they are like incarnations of the Lord, Rishabhdev, or Arjun, or Bhima, Yudhishthir, Prahlad. Prahlad, of course, is another. That was, Prahlad's case was different. But we get illustrious children from this kind of combination of husband and wife. And that culture needs to be established all over the world. And if we don't, then even we may be in ISKCON, but we don't have proper proper life. Like, it's not just being a part of ISKCON, it's a matter of adapting, imbibing the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. That's what is important. To be in ISKCON means to be imbibed, to be indoctrinated by Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and Prabhupada's teachings are in the books. Prabhupada's teachings are the teachings of the Vedas. And we are seeing that in ISKCON also marriages are breaking up. When that happens, then we know that they are not following. They are members of ISKCON, but they are not following the tenets, the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So who is a member? Who is a real member of ISKCON? Real member of ISKCON are those who are following Srila Prabhupada's teachings. That's what ISKCON is here. Not just stay in and sort of just maintain a kind of a membership. No, that's not ISKCON. ISKCON is not a club. ISKCON is an institution for spiritual education and molding one's life according to those teachings. That is what ISKCON is. And Prabhupada very clearly said, in the Vedic culture there is no separation, no divorce. No divorce whatsoever. Once married, you are stuck. Therefore, be very careful. So this is how, the point is, this is how ISKCON is establishing the real culture, human culture in this world. And then when the children are born, how should they be? They should be guided. Until the age of 5, their parents must take care of the children very nicely. And from 6 to 16, parents should chastise the children, especially the father, to study properly. Study properly. Father will chastise, okay, then crying he can go to the mother. But the thing is, parents must be strict. When it comes to studying, learning phase, one must be very strict. Parents must be very strict. Then they should get married. And by getting married, they take care of the social responsibilities, family responsibilities. Now parents have been taking care of them, now they are grown up, okay. Daddy, you retire. And I'll take care of everybody, everything. Or the father will hand over the family business, whatever it is, like to the son. So this is how the Vedic culture was established in this world, and it's coming from the Lord Himself. Chatur varnang maya shrishta guna karma vibhagasa. The human life is structured with these 4 structures, 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Everybody is classified in 4 categories. Sattvagun, Brahman. Rajogun, Kshatriya. Mixed mode of Rajo and Tamagun, Vaishya. And Tamagun, Sudra. No harm. If you're in Tamagun, it's fine. But if you're in Tamagun, then admit that you are in Tamagun. And how do we recognize the Tamagun aspect? Actually, all the different varnas are characterized by their natural characteristics. The Brahmanas, those who are in the mode of goodness, they develop certain characteristics. They are more interested in studies, in cultivation of knowledge, teaching, and so forth. They are not into materialistic way of life. They are kind of withdrawn. Mode of goodness is like that, withdrawn. But cultivating, understanding what is what. Then Kshatriyas, they are very much involved. They want to enjoy. And along with that comes the responsibility. Not that you want to enjoy. If you want to enjoy, you have to give protection. Things that you want to enjoy, you have to protect them. Otherwise somebody else will come and take it away from you. So that's a Kshatriya. Very powerful. They want to enjoy and they have the responsibility given to them for protecting what they want to enjoy. Then Vaishyas in a mode of passion and ignorance. They want to enjoy but they don't have the strength to enjoy like a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is like a lion. A lion, does a lion beg? I'm hungry, give me some food. No, I'm hungry. Okay, grab the food, right? Or if some other lion comes, fight. And like that. Kshatriyas are like lions. Then Vaishyas, they want to enjoy but they do not have the strength like Kshatriya. So they make arrangements. They make money and with the money they buy what they want. That's a Vaishya's business. And how do they make money? By getting things where it is cheap and bringing it to a place where it is most expensive. That is how the Vaishya makes his money. Salt is cheap near the ocean, so bring the salt, and there is no salt in Madhya Pradesh. So bring the salt to Madhya Pradesh and sell it with a big profit. Whereas he went to Maharashtra in the coast, there it doesn't cost anything. So he picks up the salt from there, from the coast, and brings it to Madhya Pradesh and makes his profit. Then in Madhya Pradesh there is Sarvati Gehu and Maharashtra there is no Gehu. He takes the Sarvati Gehu to Maharashtra, sells it and makes his profit. So that's a Vaishna's business. Making profit by catering to the need of the society. Like a Kshatriya won't buy things with money. Kshatriya would get things with his sword. He'll go and say, nice Sarvati Gehu. Okay, ghar mein bhej do. 200 मन घर में भेज दो. वो नहीं देगा, ठीक है चलो. लड़ाई करते हैं. So that is a Kshatriya's attitude. And a Brahmana, Krishna has given me everything. Oh, today no food came? Fine. Krishna wants me to fast today. And tomorrow a big feast comes. He says, well, I don't need so much. I'll take only whatever I need. And the rest he gives it out. Okay, distributes it. That's a Brahmana. But a Shudra, he doesn't know what to do. So Shudra is told, do this, do that. And he is maintained. And the Shudra shouldn't be given. Vedas are saying, scriptures are saying, Shudra shouldn't be given too much money. Because then what he'll do, he will drink and waste that money by all kinds of undesirable activities. Give money to a Sudra and he will spend money in all kinds of undesirable activities. So the Sudras should be maintained, Sudras shouldn't be given money. But now what is happening? The Sudras are getting so much money. Big Sudra, CEO, big boss of a company, but he's a Sudra, that's why he's working. If he was a Vaishya or a Kshatriya or a Brahmana, he wouldn't take up a job. He'll be independent. Why should I work for somebody? I can take care of myself. So those who are in other influenced by other modes, they won't take up a job as such. So this is how the Vedic culture is structuring the human society, giving different individuals the opportunity to develop his inherent nature. And then the life is divided into 4 stages. Student life, brahmachari. Household life, grihastha. Retired life, banaprastha. Renounced life, sannyas. So human life is divided into these 4 stages. So that is how the perfect society is established. So when we follow that structure, then everything is perfectly established. But when we don't, and anyway, when we don't, then we see what it turns into with the way the world is today. Like endless endeavor for sense gratification. And this endeavor for sense gratification leads to sinful life. And as a result of that, we are seeing meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling is just becoming rampant. Why? Because the Sudras got money. And the Vaishyas are not Vaishyas anymore. The Vaishyas are a bunch of cheats. The Kshatriyas are mafias. And the Brahmins, useless. So-called Brahmanas, they have their Janeyu, but no knowledge. Prabhupada used to say, I'm a Brahmin, I have my Janeyu. But what he is doing, he is pulling a rickshaw in Calcutta. So this is, but ISKCON is actually creating, at least ISKCON is creating the proper Brahmanas by qualitatively giving them the characteristics. Whereas ISKCON is establishing the real Vedic culture. And that is how ISKCON is going to save this world. The only thing that can save this world is ISKCON. Because ISKCON has the right formula to solve the problems of this world. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Does anybody have any questions?
As you know, Srila Prabhupada says to establish Merudevī Varnashram system. Now, how do we categorize an ISKCON like this is a Brahman, he is a Brahman, he is a Kshatriya, he is a Vaishya, he is a Shudra, is devotee?
Well, Prabhupada said that ISKCON is creating the Brahmanas. Right? The whole world is become Sudras. Today's world is a world of Sudras. And ISKCON is creating Brahmanas. Trying to create. Now Vaishyas and Sudras, Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, the biggest challenge will be to establish the Kshatriya culture. Because they are the ones if the proper Kshatriya culture is established, then the teachings of ISKCON will be properly implemented. How that will happen, I don't know, but I don't know whether it will happen through ISKCON, but by the way Prabhupada is establishing his teachings, through that only it will happen. Any other question? Yes?
The question is, what most do the Jain Munis achieve? What most do they achieve?
I don't know. I am not an expert on Jainism. I know how it started. But who is a Jain Muni? The Jain Sannyasis. Anyway, no comments. Because, we don't really know. You see, ultimately it is the teacher who teaches. Now, if the teacher himself doesn't know, then what can he teach? You get the point? They're following certain culture which is not actually authorized, which is not bona fide. So I don't, it's difficult to, at least that's why I said I don't want to comment. At least we don't want to worry about what others are doing. We are simply concerned what we are meant to do. That's what matters. At least you can rest assured that we are not going to follow those Jain Munis. Okay?
Little off the topic question. Is Shiva Puran one of the Tamasic Purans?
Yeah. Shiva Puran is Tamasic Puran. Okay. Yes.
Well, I guess we get information from scripture that the Varnashram is so vast. But what extent in our society do we practice Varnashram? Because here our only designation is that I'm the servant of the Lord, or the servant of the servant of the Lord. And we mostly follow Pancharatra because our daily activity is centered around deity. So how do we understand? Because
see, ISKCON is making devotees, and devotees are beyond Varnashram. The servants of the Lord are beyond Varnashram system. But at the same time, we have the responsibility of establishing or helping the society to establish Varnashram. So that's why, we may get involved. But as I said, like Prabhupada is creating the Brahmanas, right? And Prabhupada himself said, and the Brahmanas are just going to become Vaishnavas. ISKCON's purpose is actually to make Vaishnavas. At the most, they come to a Brahmanical platform. As I said, like Kshatriya, how do you establish Kshatriya? You see, that will be the biggest challenge. The Kshatriyas are the ones who are warriors. And look at the nature of a Kshatriya, as I was pointing out. A Kshatriya will not beg. Kshatriya will not manipulate and have what he wants. His approach is straightforward. I want this. And whoever wants to oppose will fight. And in the fight, whoever wins, he can enjoy that or he can have that. But that kind of attitude doesn't have any place in a democratic society. In democracy, no one person doesn't allow one person to rule. Kshatriya culture will automatically lead to monarchy. King. You see, in this area, he is the head. Right? And in a bigger area, there's another head. And those who are in a lower level, they're subordinate to him. Like in the sense, they have accepted him as the leader. And the leader is giving them the support. But in democracy, there is no place for that kind of structure. That is the problem with democracy. By vote. And that also coming for a short period. No training. They are becoming leaders of a nation. But no training. The only thing they can do is just go and give big lectures. And those lectures are full of lies. Yeah. Their whole purpose is to mobilize the mass so that they'll give the vote. And then they have all kinds of manipulations, like the way it's happening. Muslims have a big vote bank in India. So the Muslims even sell the country to the Muslims. Just so that I can be in power for 5 years. No concern, what's going to happen to the whole country. But, at least I'll be there for 5 years. So you can see, how can this system work? How can this system function properly? And in this culture, how can people be really prosperous and happy? That's why, Prabhupada even went to the extent of telling, demon crazy. It's not democracy. It's demons gone crazy. And you can see the result is, intense crisis all over the world. Terrorism. Like some stupid individual decides something and, he acts on that and the result is total chaos. Anyway, our business is just to practice Krishna consciousness and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And at least I can say that I'm happy. Just chanting. Yes.
Maharaj, like in ISKCON as an institution, we are preaching strategies like our main aim is to bring all the people in a platform of Brahmins so that they become Vaishnavas. But we see in a society in general, when Brahmanas are, like if we see in a Vedic society, Brahmanas, there were Kshatriyas and they had Brahmanas to guide them. So like the knowledge was flowing through the power, you can say, the association of power. But nowadays, because Brahmanas are alone, like we talk about ISKCON, we do not have powers. So like in our preaching strategies, if we encourage the people to grab some positions like IAS and IPS, like we see some IAS and IPS, we have seen like they are from ISKCON, like they have joined ISKCON, performing very nicely and they have powers. So in our preaching strategies, if we encourage people like students and to go for such kind of jobs, so is it good idea?
Yeah, sure. Actually, our business is to motivate everyone to become devotees. And also another consideration is jajjaj acharati sreshtas tatta deve tarujana. If you can get the leaders, then their followers also will come. So it's that is how we are trying. Like we are preaching, and there is so much emphasis on preaching to high class people, in big positions, so that gradually their influence will affect. And also it is not that we are preaching only to the big people. We are preaching to everybody. Whoever takes to Krishna consciousness, that's what matters, right? Like for example, we are not saying that we are going to change the world overnight. But our objective is, if at least we can motivate 20 people or 200 people or 2,000 people, that's fine. At least, we are giving them the way to become happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Why chant? We are not really trying to change the whole society through some political maneuvering. We are trying to change the society by creating proper awareness. Like as they said, like the formula is chant and be happy. You want to become happy. By doing politics, you'll never be happy. You'll become more and more miserable. But chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And that is the message we are taking to everybody. Whether it's a simple villager or whether it's the Prime Minister. To everybody we have the same formula to apply.
In case of youths and students.
Yeah, youth is very important because youth is our future. Old people, they can help, but they can't. But if you give the youth the motivation, then they make things happen. That's why we put so much emphasis on youth preaching. Anshul Agarwal, Udhampur. Hare Krishna, Param Pujya Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. My question is, 8 years back from now, on the orders of my parents, I got initiated by a guru. After that, I am connecting to ISKCON since 4 years. But my guru follows the 4 regulative principles. Should I leave such guru? After leaving him, will it be offensive? Can I take initiation from ISKCON? Yeah. Yes, very good question, Anshul. The thing is, Shastra is saying that there are different types of gurus. But the real guru the ultimate guru is the one who gives you Krishna. So until you come to that point, that the guru gives Krishna, then you can keep changing your guru. Your school teacher is a guru. So your primary school teacher was your guru. You went to the secondary school, you shifted from one guru to another guru. Or one set of gurus to another set of gurus. And this way, you're benefiting from those gurus, but you are open to get the right thing from the right person. And the right thing from the right person is Krishna consciousness from a devotee of Krishna who becomes your guru. So ultimate guru is a devotee. And so yes, answer to your question is that if you have to leave your guru who is not giving Krishna consciousness or not even teaching you how to follow the 4 regulative principles, I can tell you can close your eyes and leave him. And yes, you can take initiation from ISKCON. Thank you. Yes, Siddha.
Yes, Srila Prabhupada established in the medical system.
Speak slowly.
Yes, Srila Prabhupada established.
As Srila Prabhupada established. That's how I would say it.
The Gurukul system in ISKCON. Now, in those schools like Gurukul system, they teach also physics, chemistry, biology. So is that Prabhupada wanted like we see in Vrindavan and also some other schools? Is it completely basic education?
Anyway, they're doing their best. I don't want to comment on that. The schools in ISKCON, they are giving Vedic education. But at the same time, they have to make some compromise, because if they come out of the school and there is no recognition from outside, then what will they do? So that's why it's better to have them education, which is Vedic education, blended with what kind of education that's going on today. It's like affiliation with some university, I think. Okay. Any other question? Thank you. Oh, Nimai Sundar, you have a question?
It's like our movement is a preaching movement. And, we preach in two ways. We preach to the inside people, the devotees, those that are in the temple, and we preach to outside also. And of course, our strong emphasis on Yoga Dharma, the chanting holy name of the Lord. But actually, in order to chant the holy name of the Lord, you must be in a state where you can actually chant the holy name of the Lord. So simultaneously, for outside people, we give strong emphasis on Vedic culture and Varnashram. But that practically, because of their socio-economic situations, it is very difficult for them. And it's just a compromising kind of thing, just carrying on. But at what most they can do, they can just give money to it. And you are helping at some extent.
Well, the thing is, okay, complete your question.
And second, like, this is my personal observation. So, like, I see also, somewhat shifting from the real world, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Eho Bhaya, Varnashram. And actually, within the ISKCON society, you have a strong emphasis on Lord Chaitanya's teaching. And Prabhupada also told that we stick to these four principles, they protect us from the unwanted. And the more emphasis on that, the advancement or also, so it means like there we discriminate on the basis of Varnashrama, but inside the society there is a discrimination on the basis of advancement.
Inside the society?
There is a discrimination among the devotees also, but on the basis of advancement, the Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. But sometimes we feel that actually, that instead of doing that, we try to apply the concepts of Varnashrama, and that spoils the environment among the devotees actually. So instead of identifying themselves with their real identity, that I am the servant of the Lord or the servant of Vaishnavas, they start identifying themselves with I am a Brahmana because I am coming from an educated background, reading scriptures.
So what's your question?
The question is like, means like the people, the new people, they are coming into ISKCON. So how do they understand exactly that whether we are actually following Varnashram within ISKCON or we are following the teachings of Lord Chaitanya? So this is one, and for outside people we are teaching.
As I mentioned, like, we haven't been able to establish Varnashram as such. Rather, it will take a long, long time to establish Varnashram. In simple words, in order to establish Varnashram, we need Kshatriyas. And to let the Kshatriyas function, we need a kingdom. Within this democratic structure, we won't be able to establish Varnashram. We need, Kshatriya means a king. Right? So king means a kingdom. So, it'll probably take a long, long time. But what we are actually trying to do right now is to indoctrinate people with Krishna conscious principles. Like, we are just, what we are actually trying to do, we are trying to make people follow the four regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna. That is what we are trying to do. That is the main objective. And whether they're outside or whether they're inside, that's not so much of our concern right now. And we are not saying that those who are outside, they'll always remain outside. Like, we are seeing that people, those who are taking to Krishna consciousness seriously, they're thinking of quitting their job and becoming, fully involved in Krishna consciousness. Like we have examples like Bimal Krishna gave up his job, shifted from England, came to Ujjain. Same with Radha Vinod. Gave up his job, and came to become fully involved. So this is how people will be motivated to give up and become full-time devotees. So those who are outside, in this way they'll become inside. And many others also have done that. Like they have given up their careers. It's happening. Like here, Abhacharan, Brajendra Krishna, and he also, Haricharan. So they're quitting, even though they're young, they gave up their jobs and became full-time devotees. So, like this is how, what will happen is that when people recognize the importance of Krishna consciousness, they'll commit themselves fully. And that is our business. We are not going to do something artificially to just create some kind of a change right away. Our thing is we are patient. We are patient. Let it take a few generations. It doesn't matter. But at least those who are chanting Hare Krishna, they are happy. So let them be happy just by chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande.